I only have one goal in this video, and it's to show you exactly how you can go from zero to $1,000 a day with a brand new dropshipping store using a pretty simple strategy that I've been using almost every single time I launch a new product. Showing you a live example right here. October 30th is a new brand that I launched on the 1st of November. That same brand that did about $300 on the first day was right around $500 on that day. On the second, it's $700 just about. And today is Monday, and it is, I believe, like 1 o'clock right now. We're at $500 for the day. We're probably going to do $1,000 today. And like I just mentioned, it is 1:30 p.m. today, and it didn't take too long to pretty much get it right around $1,000 a day with about 20 to 25% profit margin. It's the same exact strategy that I used to take this brand here to $5,000 a day on a 2% conversion rate. Right around here, $5,000 again, and did 30,000 in just 1 week. 40,000 overall in the month, and I started this brand halfway through the month of September. And the focus for today's video is going to be spending a majority of the time talking about the different ads that perform really well on Facebook. And while you're probably struggling right now to get anything off the ground, the truth is you probably have found a handful of winning products that could make you money, but for some reason you weren't able to get it off the ground, and it wasn't your website, it wasn't the actual product itself, it wasn't the way you optimized the website or the funnels or the back end or what platform you used. It probably was the ads that you actually used and how you deployed them in your ads account. I've been able to create some really good ads and more importantly, structure those ads in a way to get some really high return on ad spend, 78 ROAS, 17 ROAS, 3x ROAS, and doing this at high volume. You can see here 61 purchases at a 2.3 ROAS, generating 3,000, almost $4,000 in sales from just one ad. And it goes on and on. I can show you some of my top ads in my dashboard that are sitting consistently around a 2 to 3x return on ad spend. If you really want to get out of e-com hell, which is just testing and dumping and trying over and over again, rinse and repeating, building new stores with new product tests and just wasting a ton of money, you need to understand something that most people on this platform on YouTube will not teach you, which is the importance of first principles, right? And first principles pretty much say no matter what new strategy comes out, no matter what new technique people are using, there are certain core principles to get someone to make a purchase from you. And if you can learn the first principles of marketing and e-com, you'll never have to worry about making money and actually being profitable. And the truth is, you're just not successful because you keep looking for step-by-step tutorials and you aren't learning the first principles of dropshipping and marketing. I know there's a lot of new AI tools, there's a lot of new strategies, there's a lot of new ways to acquire a sale through ecom, and you're probably caught up in all of them, and at times it can feel overwhelming. You have one guy saying one thing, you have me saying one way, and another person saying some new strategy on how to scale an ecom brand. The truth of the matter is, the people that are being the most successful with ecom understand these core principles, and it really starts here with Facebook ads, right? Picking a product and building a store nowadays is easier than ever before. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee that you've come across a handful of products that are considered winners that you weren't able to scale, and then you chalk it up to the product just probably can't make me money. When in reality, you just don't understand Facebook and how the ads actually work. So let's break it down today. All right, so to become successful with dropshipping, you have to identify what types of ads and concepts speak to your target audience the most, right? These aren't just numbers behind the screen, right? The amount of sales here that you see, right? The $5,000 in just one day, these return on ad spends, these purchases, these conversions, these are not just numbers. Those are real people behind those numbers. And you have to understand how humans interact on social media platforms. And once you understand that, making a sale and being profitable consistently won't be hard, right? So we know that most of our advertising on Meta is done on Facebook and Instagram, and it's comprised of these social media feeds, right? You have the feed posts when you're scrolling on the homepage, Reels, which is just like TikToks, but on Facebook and Instagram, and then your story posts, right? We all know what these mean and what they do. But what you might not understand is that people consume media differently, right? So remember, we're talking about marketing, and your ability to do marketing successfully is just how effective you can communicate a desire to your target audience, right? So what you need to understand is that some people watching videos, right, they enjoy that the most. Some people enjoy reading through long form posts, right? Despite what you might think, you might say, hey, I spend all my time scrolling through Instagram Reels. There's no way somebody's actually watching or reading long form copy posts and going through that type of stuff. Well, you might not. Maybe your mom, your dad, your family members may not, but there's someone there, right? You got to think 2 billion people use Facebook every single day or every single month, some ridiculous number like that. You need to understand that other people consume media differently. So what you may not enjoy, other people do. And that's how you have to be successful, right? You have to remove yourself from what you want and put yourself in the shoes of your target audience, right? Some people just enjoy swiping through stories. Your job is not only to find how your target audience enjoys its media, but also what type of media do you enjoy and which media is the least competitive, right? So I mentioned earlier that some of you guys have found a winning product. You built an amazing store that looks beautiful, that looks trustworthy, that someone would actually want to buy from. But the reason why you're not successful is because you're running ads that some of the top brands are competing with, that you're competing with, and they're just outspending you. So you can't compete with them. But there is a world where you can take a winning product that is competitive and saturated and deploy a different type of media to that same target audience where they're not used to seeing it. And then you can get some of the market share and be profitable. For example, makeup and skincare. One of the most popular ways to advertise makeup and skincare is using UGC ads, right? Realistic people using the product and showing how much they love it. But there is a world out there where there's some people that want that product that you're selling. And if you deploy to them in a different way with picture ads instead of video ads, they'll be more likely to spend and make some more money. So Meta's job is to show an ad concept that closely resembles the organic feed of the consumer. So we need to understand that the different media types of ads we can create and test to find the right combination to get conversions and scale. So we hear people talk about find a winning product, build a nice store, and then test some ads. Well, what kind of ads, right? And the types of ads we test, how long should we test them for? Who should we show them to? How should we make those ads? I'm sure these are questions you ask. So first things first, right? To this point that I mentioned, Meta is trying to make ads not feel like ads. And the way they're doing that is by punishing people that have ads that scream, hey, I'm an ad, right? Because the nature of humans, especially on social media, is not to get on the platform to see and watch a bunch of ads. So what have they gotten really good at? They are punishing people with high CPMs that make their ads ugly, for one, and also that are so obvious of an ad. The people that are doing the best, and it's why UGC took off and became such a popular way to advertise, is that anything that feels organic and authentic to the feed will ultimately get lower cost per clicks and a cheaper CPM. Why is this important to understand? Is because if we take a look at social media feeds, right? This is one example of a feed. This is another example of a feed. Facebook's going to consistently, or Instagram for that matter, is going to consistently try to show you content that resembles this type of stuff that you engage with. So if you understand what type of content does well for your target audience, you can make content and ads that blend into their natural feed, and Facebook will obviously reward you with better ad metrics and make it easier for you to convert. So we have a full detailed training. That's kind of the 50-foot overview. I have a full detailed training of the different types of ads. I'm going to show you some examples. I'm also going to show you how you can launch ads and use one of my most powerful AI scripts to find the different types of people that you can speak to and create ads that cater to them specifically. All right. Before we get into any of that, you have to understand one of the most critical points in marketing, which is marketing awareness. There are different types of people when it comes to different products. There are different stages that people go through. And this is important to understand, right? When we talk about saturation, what is saturation? What does that mean? Does it just mean that a lot of people are advertising the same product to the same people? Yes, at face value, but it goes beyond that. There are these 5 different stages of market awareness where your customer, remember, they're not just numbers, they're people. Your customer has a certain level of awareness when it comes to the product that you're trying to sell them. And the general rule of thumb is that the more aware somebody is of your product that you're trying to sell, the different ways of marketing you're going to have to use to actually get them to purchase. If I know what an iPhone is, I've seen it a million times. I might have had an iPhone, or actually, let's use a better example. Let's use these blue light glasses. If I know what blue light glasses are, I've seen them a million times on my feed, whether I may own a pair or just know about them, you're going to have to create different types of ads to get me to buy versus someone that has no idea what these glasses are. They may have never heard about it or seen it before. So there are going to be different types of ads, whether it's video or picture ads, but the way you speak in those ads, they're going to have to be a little different for you to convert that person. So these are the different stages. You can pause real quick and read this. But most products and most advertisers, the mistake that they're making is that they're creating good ads, but they're speaking to the wrong person. right? There's certain level of market sophistication that a product may have. For example, at this point, we all probably know what creatine is, right? If you know anything about weightlifting, we all know what creatine is. If you're going to try to create a creatine ad today and introduce it as this new solution to build muscle and retain water, good luck. There's a small portion of the market at this point that doesn't know what creatine is, right? But if you were to come out with a new supplement, or like peptides, for example, peptides recently became really popular, and you introduce it as this new opportunity, there's way less people in the market that know what peptides are versus what creatine is. So the different types of ads you create will reflect that. All right, so now let's get into some of the more notable ads, right? People ask me this all the time. What types of ads should I create? I'm also going to break down in what order you should be testing different ads and different concepts. So definitely stay tuned. So there's the first type of ads that I personally like to create a lot are infomercial ads, right? Think of these as your old school ads back on television, where you're informing the target audience of a problem they may not know they have and telling them why your product is the only logical solution. Oh, and by the way, that brand that I had mentioned earlier, it just got another sale as I'm making this video, which is always cool. So we're at $630 for the day. It's not even 2 o'clock yet. So like I mentioned, by the end of today, it should be another 1K a day store. All right, so here's an example of an infomercial style ad. I don't necessarily know if I need to play the entire thing, but basically it's going to call out a target audience. It's going to introduce a problem they may or may not have, speaking to a specific type of person, or in this case, a specific type of cat, and then introduce as to not only the solution, but why our solution, right, whatever the product you're selling, is the only logical solution to the problem that they're having. So take a listen.
Attention cat owners with destructive chewers, there's finally a solution that actually works. Forget the expensive sprays and bitter coatings that don't work. Your cat isn't being bad. They have a biological need to chew that's going completely unsatisfied. When cats can't fulfill their natural chewing instinct, they target your cords, remotes, boxes, and furniture, costing you hundreds in replacements while damaging their teeth on hard plastics and toxic materials. Worse, conventional solutions punish the behavior without addressing the root cause. By the time you've replaced your third phone charger or rushed to the ER vet for an intestinal blockage, the damage and expense have already piled up. Eveland Silvervine sticks redirect the instinct completely. Our natural Silvervine wood is infused with gall fruit that's irresistible to 98% of cats. They choose the stick over your belongings instantly. The gentle abrasive texture satisfies their chewing drive while naturally cleaning their teeth and removing plaque buildup. Your cat gets the enrichment they're craving with zero risk to your home or their health. Redirecting destructive chewing isn't just about saving your stuff, it's about...
All right, so I think you guys kind of get the gist there, right? So we call out a target audience, right? Which are, in this case,
attention cat owners with destructive chewers.
Cat owners that are destructive chewers. Now, very, very important detail that it might have swept under the rug there. I didn't just call out in this ad that I scripted myself, which I'll show you guys the scripts and how you can do this. I didn't just create I didn't just call out a target audience based off of cat owners, right? Hey, attention cat owners. Specifically called out a certain type of cat owner. The type of cat owner that is destructive, chewing through cables and wires and stuff like that. That is a little foreshadowing to what we're going to talk about later in this same training, but that's very important, right? A lot of the times, and I talk to a lot of students about this inside my community, defining the you. Who are you speaking to? I've seen so many ads that people have created or replicated that are like, if you're struggling with back pain, get this product. Okay, who's you? So being really clear on defining the you, and then throughout the ad, as you can see, we inform them, and then the biggest thing is like, this is what drives home. Obviously, I'm introducing to you a solution, right? I've had a student recently ask me like, hey, Alex, well, I want to sell this product, but it's on Amazon. Should I worry about that, right? Like, I'm sure you guys have had questions. Like, a lot of people are selling the same product on Amazon. The way we, as dropshippers, compete with Amazon without actually having to necessarily directly compete, because there's so much volume for e-commerce online. You only need a small fraction of the pie to be successful. But the way we can, quote unquote, compete with Amazon is by just having a unique mechanism. In this instance here, this specific product has a infused gall fruit, whatever that may mean, is a unique thing different than the other competitors may or may not sell. So by saying that, hey, our product has a unique solution, not only is it just a great product overall, but what makes us special is that we have a specific thing that's healthy and it is natural, and it doesn't it's not synthetic or fake. So by positioning us as the logical solution, that will incentivize more people to actually care to go on your website, and they'll see that there's an option on Amazon, but still go with you because you've branded your product with a unique solution that other products on Amazon may or may not have. All right, so that's one type of ad. The typical infomercial ads. I feel like I'm one of the few people on YouTube talking about this ad as much and bringing it kind of back, because when everyone zigs, you zag, right? Everyone talks about UGC and now even AI UGC, but I'm telling you, these types of ads are crushing for me, and they do really good for specific types of products, right? Problem solving products for an older demographic, which usually are the people that have the most money to spend in the first place. Now, if you're selling some clothing for, women between the ages of 25 and 35, then obviously an ad like this wouldn't make the most sense. But I like to stick to problem solving products for an older demographic of people that are going to gravitate more so on Facebook, right? Like my ads, infomercial ads, I launch them on Facebook and Instagram, and 90% of the time, Facebook is where all the spend goes to, because that's where my demographic mostly spends their time on. So that's an infomercial style ad. Next up is UGC. I don't really think I need to make show you guys an example of a UGC ad. At this point, user generated content, right? Somebody that seems like they're a customer or something, talking about a product that they received, and it's doing good for them, right? I don't think you guys need to see a tutorial on that. If you need to see that, look it up on YouTube. Next up is product display ads. Again, I don't think I need to show you guys an example. A product display ad is just simply someone showing the product with some music and text on the screen. Simple enough, right? I think we all know what types of ads those are. And then this is my sweetheart right here, my favorite type of ad to run right now. Just once again, because of the demographic of people I like to advertise towards, generally people that are older than the age of 40. These ads convert really well for them. Image ads with strong caption. Right? These are great for initial angle testing and allow you to quickly iterate based on messaging and copy. And if I'm being transparent with you guys, this YouTube video was initially going to be centered around how to quickly test and scale quickly. And it also blended into the whole concept of how to do that without spending a ton of money. So with that being said, I want to break down the exact ad stack that I like to follow when it comes to testing and launching ads. And if you haven't heard about image ads with really long form copy, I'm here to tell you that it's probably one of the most popular ways right now to sell to an older demographic of people to 40 plus. A lot of dropshippers and just overall e-commerce brand owners are using the strategy because of how effective it is. So it's one of those things that you want to hop on the bandwagon now before it becomes too saturated. Let me show you a quick example, and then I'll show you exactly how I like to launch these and test and scale. Okay, so this is an example, right? This advertiser, Pause and Care Vet, has 240 total ads. So they definitely are scaling. And as you can see, they're showing a lot of picture ads right now. In fact, their entire ad library, I believe, is just picture ads. And this is a strategy you can use to literally scale to 10K a day pretty consistently. And if you click on the Shop Now button, you can see that it goes straight to a product page, right? So you might say, okay, the picture has nothing to do with the product page, which in this case is a kitty supplement. And if you look closely into the actual caption, if my ad library stops freaking out here, you can see, I'm going to hit see more in a second, but there's no real initial like selling point. And that's actually why these picture ads with long advertorial copy are converting so well right now for the older demographic. Because to my point that I mentioned to you guys earlier, Facebook does not want your ad to feel and look like an ad. They're trying to blend in and disguise the ads. Obviously, once you click on it, it'll say something like sponsored or whatever, but it should blend into the feed. Like this is the explore page, right? This is not actually feed. This is explore page, but it should blend into your feed as much as it as a normal organic post should. And that's exactly why this type of content does so well, largely because of the ability to blend in and seem like a natural post. Now, if you were to sit down and read through all of this, it would sound like somebody's mother just got on Facebook one day late at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning and wanted to create some long form copy to just share a story with her Facebook feed. Like, hey, I just discovered this crazy, I've been dealing with this issue for so long, and I just discovered this crazy solution to this problem that I had that I never thought of. And here is the solution. But before I tell you the solution, here's a quick backstory of how I discovered the solution. So it's actually really cool because it almost, if you look back at this board here, it blends in a couple of different core factors. And remember, I'm trying to teach you guys the concept of first principles, meaning what are the core foundations? What are the things that need to happen for someone to make a purchase? It doesn't matter if you're using AI ads, if down the line there's some new type of ad strategy that works. What is the underlying message here that needs to happen for someone to make a purchase? And I say that to say because these types of ads do a couple different things. One, it almost feels like the elements of a UGC ad, which is someone vouching for a product on why you should get it, which is one of the biggest factors that people need to see before making a purchase. That is kind of happening in this ad because it's from the point of view. It's written in a way that it's from the point of view of somebody talking as if they were sharing it to their Facebook feed. So that element is checked off, which is really cool. It's informative because a lot of the times it's not just someone sharing their opinion, they're sharing some type of fact or information. And then it blends in with the Facebook feed because it's just an image ad. And because it's an image ad and videos dominate the feed right now, they stand out without feeling like an ad, which is really cool. So this is actually going to segue us into the exact strategy on how I like to test and launch ads. And if you want to learn how to actually properly do this, like, create the advertorial, create the pictures, write the copy and all that stuff, in the description of this video, I'm going to leave this resource doc, which gives you the exact prompts and scripts I like to use to not only train the AI to know a lot about the product, but write amazing copy for you that will allow you to test and quickly find different marketing angles. So personally, this is what I like to do, right? So start off with some image ads with a strong caption into a product page, right? So like I had mentioned in this example here, this is the ad, right? The picture itself is just to get people to click and stop the scroll. But the opening headline, right, or actually this is the product description, but this right here is the headline, what the FDA grain-free warning didn't tell you. And then that paired with the actual first sentence of the description is all a way to hook the potential customer into actually reading the entire long form copy. So I know you might be saying, Alex, there's no way someone's just scrolling through Facebook and is going to read this entire long, probably 1,200 word paragraph about why they should buy this product, right? There's no way, right? That's where you're wrong, because there's a good chance that if you're watching this video right now, you are not the target audience and this wasn't meant for you, and that's okay. We don't need to want to read this. We just want to make sure our target audience does. So yes, this is enough copy to get someone to then land on this page and purchase. I promise you it is because I'm literally doing it right now. It's literally working. I've done it for my other brands. My students do it now too. It just works, right? So whether you think it does or not is up to you. But look how simple this product page is, right? Like, this is a simple product page and it's enough to get someone to purchase. So, right, the whole concept of this training is how can I test without blowing through my entire marketing budget and wasting a ton of money on ads? Well, one, you can use image ads plus this strong caption and copy and messaging. And this works really well because picture ads actually gets more interactions and gives you more chances of getting a purchase because they're cheaper to advertise on Facebook than video ads. Just because of the nature of how competitive video ads are, everyone's running video ads. These actually kind of stand out in the algorithm. And they also are a refreshing way for your target audience, people older than the age of 40, to consume media, right? These people don't necessarily always want to watch quick edited, flashy reels and videos. So this is actually going to assimilate to that target audience a lot easier, and it's going to be cheaper for you to test using image ads, right? So your $100 a day budget will go farther with this strategy, and you'll learn more and get more data faster than video ads. Okay. Next up is, once you find a strong marketing angle, then create an advertorial that doubles down on the marketing angle, which is optional, right? Creating an advertorial, which if you don't know what that is a long form article that looks as if it is informing you once again about something, but at the end it sells you on the product. Okay, pretty simple. I do have a training on this on my channel. You can scroll back on my channel, watch this video here, stop going and make 15K a month with AI image ads instead. This video will break that down in more detail. Then from there, you can continue to scale with the AI image ads, but with the new Androgeda update and the importance of creative diversity and building your brand on more than just one, having one egg in the basket, you want to diversify. I like to then take those same marketing angles and concepts and then turn them into video ads, specifically those infomercial video ads that I had mentioned before that are informing your target audience. And now we know what angle, right? What type of angle we can speak to those people. Now I'm going to spend a couple minutes here stressing the importance of angle testing. right? So I mentioned earlier, right, when a lot of people create ads or test messaging and marketing, they say, do you want to solve your back pain? Do you want, to grow your hair? Or do you want nicer skin? Defining the you will literally be the definition of, or the defining factor for you to be successful dropshipping. Understanding how to take this same product here that's saturated and find a sub audience of people that you can sell this to that aren't as marketed towards. Okay, so let's take an example. And again, the scripts to this that I use will be in the description. You just click this, you can scroll through, copy and paste, and let's get into it, right? So let's take this back massager. Personally, I think very saturated product, but if you find a sub audience of people that has a desire to want to purchase this product, you can do some really good numbers with this. But let's just take this for an example, because visually we can all look at this and know what this does, right? You put it on your back, it massages your back. So now what I like to do here is the first type of campaign that I would recommend you launch as someone balling on a budget and trying not to blow a ton of money is the following. So what you would want to do is launch a CBO campaign targeting one country. If you're in the UK and you want to target the UK, great. If you live in Australia and you want to target Australia, great. If you live in Canada but you want to target the US, great. Target just one country, pick a country, commit to that country, and then do Advantage Plus, meaning you do not touch the interests, you don't touch the age, you don't touch the gender, you don't touch the placements. You just let Facebook do all that for you. They're smarter than you and I. I don't care if you're selling a bra for women. Do not then go into the ad set level and then change it to only target women, because Facebook's going to do that for you anyway. So just let it happen. Then from there, under that CBO campaign, and remember, CBO stands for Campaign Budget Optimization, meaning we set the daily spend at the campaign level. So if you have $100 a day or $50 a day and you want that to go as far as possible without blowing through your budget and wasting a ton of money, we're going to say, hey, Facebook, create this CBO campaign. And under that campaign, I'm going to test a couple different ad sets, all targeting a different group of people. And then you decide for me which group of people is most likely to convert and make me money, rather than you creating an ABO campaign where at the ad set level, you're setting the budget at $10, $15, $20 a day at each ad set level, where every single campaign is going to get $20 to $30 to spend, regardless if it's profitable or not. You don't want to do that, right? So this whole video is about how do we save money while we do CBO campaigns, right? So the goal here with the CBO campaign is to have picture ads that you can create using Higgsfield, which again, on my YouTube channel, you can just scroll through and you'll see me break down how to create image ads, similar to how this competitor here is using AI picture ads to create these realistic looking images, right? These are not real images of people holding cats. These are all done with AI using a tool called Higgsfield. I break down in great detail on how to do that on my channel, so feel free to go scout out my other videos, or just send me a message on Instagram if you really, really are confused and don't know what you're doing. Okay, so from there, we're going to create 5 images, right? These are going to be the same 5 images under each ad set, but the ad set is going to have different copy and messaging, right? Once again, back to this competitor here, and I'm going to use a different browser because I have too many extensions on this browser. One second. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a live example of this in real time, right? The same thing I'm teaching you right now, we see top brands in the industry doing the same thing, right? So this is the same image, right? We all can see that this is the same exact image, right? It's this woman here holding a cat. But what's different? The caption, right? The caption, the description that you can put into the image is different, right? This one has one type of messaging and this one has one type of messaging. So what this person is doing without reading the entire messaging, I know that they're talking to 2 different types of people that are likely to purchase their product. So how can you do the same, right? You can do the same without having to spend a ton of time by using AI. So here's an example of what you should do. In the documents, I list out in order what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. But basically, the first thing you need to do is go into a tool, an AI tool of your choice. I personally like Claude AI because it's better for copy and messaging. You can use ChatGPT if you're balling on a budget and you don't want to have a ton of AI subscriptions. I totally understand. So what I would do is I would go into Claude here and I would say, hey, I'm a brand owner looking to create an advertorial and some long form copy messaging. So here is an Amazon listing. Here is a link to my Amazon reviews, which I think I forgot to actually add in there. And then here's a competitor that is selling this product. Go through and study and scrape all the information you need to know to get as much details about this product and the type of people that are likely to purchase from it. right? From there, it's going to give you a quick analysis. You just review it, read it, just have some level of understanding of your product. Then from there, the second prompt, again, on this document, is going to say, hey, now I need you to find 5 unique sub niches of people that would best fit my target audience that has the most desire to actually buy this, right? We don't want just 5 random types of people. We need to find the most likelihood of people that are more likely to purchase this product. And how do we do this? Well, the AI, as you can see here, is going to scrape through Reddit forums, right? So they're going to go through Reddit forums like Reddit Neck Pain Office, Reddit Working Mothers, Reddit Gamers, Reddit Nurses Healthcare, right? It's going to scroll through Reddit forums and actually get data from real life people suffering from the problem that this product can solve, which is neck and back pain. It's going to use AI and data. It's not going to just create it out of thin air. It's going to search it from Reddit forums. Okay, if you use the prompt exactly how I use it. And we also want to address the main concern or fear that they may have with the product that we're selling. And we need to know how we can destroy their limiting belief, because there's always skepticism when someone's trying to buy a product online. So how can we position our product to avoid that skepticism so they can actually buy it? Just like the cat silver vine sticks, right? We have this unique solution that our sticks have, which is it's holistic and healthy and natural. So that's going to wipe away the concern and fear that our target audience may have about our product, so they're more likely to purchase. So boom, now we have 5 sub audiences. We have the overwhelmed remote working mom, right? We know their age group. We know the problem that they're constantly having. We know the marketing angle, your 15-minute sanctuary, professional relief while the kids play. We know the tone and how to speak to them, the main fear. And then it's going to do this for the marathon gamer, the exhausted healthcare hero, the long haul trucker. See, that's something I wouldn't have thought about, but the AI was able to search through some Reddit forums and give you some feedback on that, right? It even gives you the articles, right? Injury attorneys. Wow, this is cool, right? It's giving you data and facts, right? And then the active senior fighter. This is a 65-70 refusing to let go of a slow age. Okay, I thought they meant like legitimately an old person trying to fight people. Okay, so now I have the 5, not just 5 unique people, but 5 of the most likely unique people based on the data it did. Now, this is a very surface level a data scrape that it did. I'm sure there's ways to go deeper and really prompt the AI to like go through articles and Q&A forums and all that stuff. But just because you're looking for surface level data to just test initially, you can always go down deeper down the line once you've validated the product. This is the fastest way to do this. And then from there, we're just going to ask for some hooks based off the unique angle we're going after. So again, go on to the document in the description, right? I don't want to see any of you guys requesting editing access. If you want a copy of this, you're going to hit File right here on the top left-hand side and hit Make a Copy so you can have access to this and use it at your own leisure. So from there, I'm going to copy that. I'm just going to replace this area here where it says on the document, I believe it says angle. So the angle in question here will be the overwhelmed remote working mom. It's going to create the copy here, or not the entire copy yet. It's going to create the hook to start us off with. And then we follow up the script by taking the product name, the hook, and the detailed angle that we pulled, which would be the working mom, the neck massager, and then whatever hook that we wanted to go with, right? So we have all these hooks here. Read through the hooks, use a little bit of your brain power to figure out of these 10 hooks, which one sounds the coolest or the nicest. Copy that all into this last prompt here, this really long prompt that will create this really detailed long caption that for some reason people read and love reading, right? And then boom, from there, you're going to get a long form copy like, for example, this competitor is using. Now, this works for the dental space, skincare, hair care, pets is really popular with this right now, as you can see from this example. But it doesn't stop there. There's any niche that a target audience of people greater than the age of 35 would most likely want. You can sell this type of product to them as long as it's a problem-solving product. Okay, and then you would have 5 different angles. So ad set 1 would be, all right, you just copy what's working here. You would create 5 separate long form copy, right? Like there's 5 different captions. The pictures are the exact same, but just create 5 different copy. For the images, right? I have a detailed training on that. But basically, you just want to use like a native feed post. For this neck massager. You can use like an image of somebody, with their neck, having an issue with their neck, or um, just chat GBT it, honestly, like if you're really confused. But the goal here is to find native feed posts that don't look too crazy. You don't need someone's bone sticking out of their neck or anything. You don't want to get a violation or strike. Just use something holistic or wholesome or nice, something that invokes some type of emotion. For me personally, if I was selling this neck massager, I just find a picture of like a mom putting her hand on. I'd create a picture using Higgsfield with a mom putting her hand on her neck or something, right? Let me show you guys a real quick prompt, because I know you guys are gonna be like, man, Alex, you didn't show me how to create a picture. What's wrong with you? All right, so I would go into Higgsfield So, the best AI generating tool for realistic images of people, and I would type in something like this: generate a picture of a woman in her mid 40s, putting 40s, putting her hand on her neck in discomfort as she is sitting in her modern home. Right? Boom. Do something like that. You want to generate 1 by 1 pictures, and you just need 5 different pictures, right? A total of 5 different pictures. The goal here is that it should feel like a native feed post on Facebook. So you should not be anything disgusting. It shouldn't be anything that would get you a violation. It should just be something that kind of echoes the sentiment of the ad, that is, or the copy, the long form copy. Now, if you notice here, I have overworking mom, I have marathon gamer. So the image you're going to use, I would recommend using 5 evergreen style images that could replicate the copy for all of these. And all I would do, like, okay, boom, that took 2 seconds. This would be a perfect example for this copy and messaging. But because you have 4 other angles that you have to test, and you're going to use the same 5 images per angle, I would recommend you try something like a little bit more broad than this. But this would be good too. Now you might be asking, well, Alex, shouldn't I just use 5 images that represent the target audience that I'm speaking to? Yes, you could do that too. I will say that if you're using 5 different images per ad set, right, so 25 total different images, it's going to be kind of hard to know what's converting what. But because it's long form copy that's going to do most of the converting, it's fine. Like, it's at the end of the day, if you have 5 completely different types of people, then sure. You probably shouldn't have one of those images, if you're speaking to truck drivers, be a woman putting her hand on her neck. Totally understand it. So that's where I would use that's where a little brain power is required. So if this ad set is all speaking to moms, remote moms, then yes, use 5 pictures of women. And if this one's talking to truck drivers, then yeah, you probably should just use 5 pictures of truck drivers. Don't overstress it. I would love it in a perfect world, though. Most times, if the product is speaking to one type of gender that relatively looks the same, let's say a skincare product for women, and there are 5 different ad sets of 5 different types of women. One could be stay-at-home moms. One could be, some type of other type of mom. The caption needs to be separate per ad set, and then in that case, the 5 images should all be relatively the same. So hopefully that's making sense. The point is, the pictures, they don't hold as much weight as the actual long form copy. The picture is literally just there, so like people might stop the scroll, click on it, and read the rest. But it's not going to be the end all be all. So do not panic, do not freak out, do not start asking a million questions like, oh my God, but in my 5 different audiences are 5 different completely genetically different looking people. Should I use the same picture for all of them, or should just find some pictures, man, and just test it? Because what really is going to drive the conversions and what's going to help the CPM, CTRs, and all that stuff will actually be the hook and the caption. Okay, so don't stress it. But this would be an example. You see, like now, let's say we wanted to do a truck driver. Generate a picture of a middle-aged truck driver sitting in his truck with holding his neck in discomfort. At the end of the day, even though I have 5, like I have some men, some women in this 5 angle testing concept, I'm still gonna use it. You realistically should use the same caption per ad set, because Facebook's gonna automatically allocate the spend to the one that makes the most sense anyway. right? So realistically speaking, if you want to keep this as simple as possible, if you are testing a product that has some men, some women, some young, some old, whatever, just use the same 5 pictures anyway. It doesn't really matter too much because at the end of the day, the caption and the copy, I'm telling you, does 75 to 80% of the work anyway. Okay. But Higgsfield, sign up for the pro plan. You get a ton of credits and you get Higgsfield credits that you can generate. Boom. You can use a realistic image like this. You can even do something like generate a picture of a gamer sitting his desk hunched over. I don't think that's how you spell hunched. Hunched over. Clearly in discomfort. Okay. So like, boom, you just generate 5 pictures. I would recommend 5. You can generate 3, or whatever, but I would recommend a minimum of 3, no more than 10. I think 5 is perfect because once again, the pictures definitely help with the click-through rates a little bit and people like stopping to read, but nothing really, really makes as much of a difference as the actual headline and the long form copy and the first sentence of the long form copy as well, right? It's like, here's another example. Now, obviously, I personally wouldn't want to be targeting someone this young. So I would say something, I would stick to the older demographic of people, or I would regenerate this image. Send a picture of a gamer who is in his mid-30s, right? Obviously, the goal should always be to try to target people 30 years and older. Those are going to be the people with money that are on Facebook, 35 really and older, a lot of the times. So boom, and you just generate images like that. Make sure they're 5 realistic, good-looking images that look natural. You can also generate, it doesn't have to be somebody in there. If I was using a foot massager, maybe you can generate a picture of someone showing their legs looking wrinkled and swollen, right? Like that's another example of images that you can generate. But the point is, realistically speaking, the only difference per ad set should just be the caption. It should be 5 of the exact same pictures because we want to isolate variables. 5 pictures going straight to a product page, right? So boom, you can generate something like this, right? So definitely stand out, right? Like this is a really good image. And you're using your own image. You don't have to worry about ripping other people's image and you won't get marked for like stealing people's content. Anyway, back to the concept here. So what I would do here is ad set 1, 5 images, its own copy. Ad set 2, same 5 images as ad set 1, but its own new fresh copy, right? And Facebook allows you to put in like, I think 3 or 5 different ad sets that you can split test with. You should not do that. It should just be 1 ad set and 1 copy per ad set. Do not split test 3 different ad sets. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Your primary text will be the long form copy, right? Your long form copy, which is this right here, right? So this will be your primary text. All this stuff here. And then your headline would just be this thing here, right? You see where it says, what if the FDA grain-free warning didn't tell you, or what the FDA grain-free warning didn't tell you. Let's see, they keep using this exact same. Oh, here's another example right here. Veteran speaks the truth, right? Like that's going to be your headline, and there should only be 1. You see how they give you options to split test 5 different ones? Each ad set should just have 1 primary text and 1 headline. Headline should be simple, right? Read this if you're balding. Read this if you're losing weight. Or if you want to lose weight, which probably should not say that. But read this if you want to feel young again, right? Like that should be it. And you should use like an emoji pointing upwards to the caption, right? Boom. So what I'm going to do here is test those 5 ad sets, let them run for 3 days. If I'm break even or profitable, great. I'm going to just keep moving forward and letting the spend go and increase budgets. If not, turn it off and go test a new product. That simple, right? So all picture ads are the same, but the caption will be different per ad set. Use your own AI image ads like I had mentioned. Get this a little bigger. Okay. Set the minimum spend per campaign to $10 a day, right? So the way to do that is simple. When you have so many ad sets at a small budget, which is 50 or for some of you $100 a day, you have to make sure that there's a minimum spending amount because Facebook will allocate all your spend to 1 ad set, and that ad set could actually not be profitable. So under budget and schedule, there's an option here that says ad set spending limits. You can set hit this set a minimum spend limit and change the value to a dollar amount. And if you're spending $100 a day, make sure it is the daily spend of $10. If you're spending $50 a day or less, which is very that's going to take a while to actually get data, you don't need to set this. Actually, if you're spending $50 a day, you can set this to $5 a day. Sorry, you can set this to $5 a day. And if you're spending $100 a day, set the minimum to $10 a day. Make sure you always set your ads to go out the next day at midnight. Okay. So if it's $50 a day, you're going to have to let the ad spend for 4 days. If it's $100 a day, you can let the ad spend for 3 days. If you're unprofitable after 3 days, kill the product, move on. It's fine if you're unprofitable or break even the first 2 days, but you have to be profitable by day 3, right? So if the day 1, you don't make any money, day 2, you break even, but day 3, you're profitable, great. That means you're something's working. So what I would do is whatever ad sets are spending but not making you any money, turn them off and let Facebook reallocate all the spend to the ads sets that are spending and actually getting sales. Even if the sales are break even, still, don't turn those off. Only turn off the ad sets that are not getting any spend, or actually all of them will be getting spend. Only turn off the ad sets that are getting spend and not getting you any purchase intent. No add to carts, no purchases at all. Just turn them off. But the ones that are getting sales, keep them on. Unless it's like you're getting sales, but you're still negative like $80 or something. Right. Overall, by day 3, you should be profitable. Or if you're spending $50 a day, day 4, you should be profitable on that day. If not, turn it off and go start again. Find a new product. Get the 5 different top market awarenesses in their target audience, or the most likely sub niches to purchase your product, and then do it again. Now, let's say you found 2 ad sets that are profitable and are making you money. Great. Now you have 2 options. You can go back to this here and you can now create an advertorial, which I don't think this competitor actually did, which would be interesting. Let's see here. All their ads that say shop now go straight to a product page. If they have any learn more ads, that means that they go to an advertorial. But this person might literally just be scaling with these basic picture ads straight to an advertorial or straight to a product page, which would be really impressive. Let's see here. Yeah, these go straight to, let's just use this here. I think, yeah, these all go straight to a product page, which is cool, right? And it goes to show you do not actually need to create an advertorial if you're scaling and profitable. So what I would do personally is I would always test an advertorial, and obviously the goal here is to find the winning marketing angle. So if you test this and we find that the 2 angles, or maybe even just 1 angle, is just the overwhelmed remote working mom, I would create an advertorial now that speaks directly to that angle and keep launching new ads to that advertorial, testing that and scaling that. That's what I would do there. But if you don't want to do that, you can skip this step, but this next step definitely isn't optional. I would highly recommend you at least test it and try it. Creating some video ads. So like I mentioned, I would definitely create some infomercial style video ads that speak to that audience. Now I know what angle that works and can scale for me. I just create some infomercial ads that speak to that audience using just generic B-roll of the product and different like problems my target audience may have, like showing pictures or videos in this case of people struggling with back pain and knee pain and holding up neck pain and holding their neck or back or whatever, and then just creating an infomercial ad like I mentioned or showed you guys for that cat product. So theoretically speaking, you should have 2 campaigns, maybe even 3, but no more than that. You don't really need more than that these days, but 2 campaigns, 1 being picture ads and 1 being video ads, and you can scale off of just those 2 campaigns, right? And the cool thing about this is that the only thing you need to do here is just increase budgets and then keep launching new ads under the same campaign. You don't need to create new campaigns every so often. Once you find the winning angle. And then with, if you want to test new angles down the line, all you got to do is create a new ad set. But under the winning ad set, you can just keep throwing all your ads here. You don't have to do, anything different. Just keep throwing all your ads under the winning ad set if it's the same angle. Now, same thing with the video ads, right? Just test under the same CBO, 1 target audience, Advantage Plus. Just test the winning angles as 5 video ads, right? Now, let's say this was your winning angle, and then this one wasn't necessarily a winning angle. Like you kept spending money and you kept getting sales, but you maybe broke even or not. I would still test some video ads because sometimes, like I mentioned at the start of this training, some people receive information differently. So maybe this target audience that you were using picture ads to try to speak to, maybe that is a saturated way to acquire that type of sale, or maybe they just aren't so receptive to that type of marketing. So maybe this type of marketing actually might speak to this type of target audience, right? So for the example here, ad set 1 could be the target audience of the overwhelmed remote working mom, but maybe ad set 2 is the long haul trucker, right? So maybe the trucker wasn't really too receptive to picture ads, but maybe they're receptive to video ads. And that's going to be the one that can start converting really well for you. That's why it's important to test the two. Or if you only have one ad set that was crushing it for you and doing the best, then just launch one ad set with that winning angle. Final notes here. What do you do when an ad set or ad is getting all the spend but isn't profitable, but an ad set that is getting some of the spend is profitable but only a few dollars, right? So for example, let's say that in the initial test here, this got $60 to spend, this got 10, 5, 5, and 2. And this one here is at a 2x ROAS and it only got $5 in spend, but this one got $70 to spend and it's at a 1.5 ROAS. Well, once it spends like the amount, like, you know, the average AOV, right? The order value, right, of your product. Let's say you're charging the neck pillow for, I don't know, you're buying it on AliExpress for this amount. Let's say you're charging $70 for this neck pillow, right? $69.99. Once your ad set spends that amount and you're not profitable, then you can just turn it off and let Facebook reallocate some of the spend to these other ad sets. And if it reallocates the spend to these ad sets and it stops being profitable, right? Like this starts getting sales and the ROAS goes down, that means it wasn't really a profitable ad set to begin with. It just got a couple low-hanging fruit sales, but at scale, it can't be profitable. So you just turn off the campaign and test a new product. Okay, so that's basically what I say here. Let's say everything is going well. What should I do? Right? So you can just bump budgets 50% each day at midnight. Always increase the budget at the end of the night when most of the spend has gone through. So that way it doesn't have to go through learning phase in the middle of the day. If it stops being profitable, give it a day or two, because normally what happens when you bump budgets, the next day the campaign can get a little wobbly and it has to relearn a little bit, but that's fine because by the following day after bumping budgets, it should go back to profitability. If not, give it one more day. If it's still not profitable, then set it back to the daily spend it was when it was once profitable. Just understand though, normally a proven winner will take a day to optimize and then go right back to being profitable if it's a true winner. Don't create an advertorial until you know the winning marketing angle as well. So that goes without saying. You should not, like, you can't, if your marketing angle on the front end, which is a picture ad going to a product page, isn't profitable, an advertorial is not going to now make it profitable. You have to find the winning angle, right? The angle that's least competitive and actually speaks to the most likely type of person to purchase your product. So don't create an advertorial until the front end marketing is dialed in, especially if you're on a budget. Now, once again, this video is for people balling on a budget. If you have a little bit more to spend and you can test a little bit more, and then of course, some of those rules may not apply. Yeah, so there you guys go. That is what I would be doing if I'm balling on a budget and trying to scale. I want you guys to understand that this isn't just theory. This is literally what I'm doing, right? So if I show you guys the calendar, today is November 3rd. Let me hit the refresh button for you here. So November 3rd, you can see that this campaign here, one of them is video ads, right? Videos. And then one of them is picture ads going straight into a product page. So I'm not just telling you this just so you can do some bullshit. I'm doing it myself. And as you can see here, if I scroll over a little bit, my ROAS is pretty good, right? Sitting at a 3.6 ROAS. Video ads are doing really good for me today. Picture ads are doing pretty solid too. This is not up to date though. I believe another sale had just came through. So this should refresh here and get another sale going. But yeah, this is literally what I did, right? So yesterday, right, we were sitting at lower ROAS. We can see picture ads were doing better for me than video ads, but that's fine. That fluctuation happens on the Saturday as well. I believe picture ads once again were doing better than video ads, but guess what? You don't freak out, right? Because I did this after bumping budgets. So I had mentioned to you guys, after you bump budgets, things are going to get a little wonky. I gave it 2 days and now video ads are crushing for me. Why? Because I have a true profitable ad campaign. I was patient and let Facebook spend and do its thing. So yeah, I mean, like, guys, trust me when I say this. Like this is the name of the game. CPMs very low. Picture ads $19 CPMs. Video ads $36 CPMs. CPC, I'm averaging a 9 cent CPC on my picture ads. Right, click-through rate is amazing. All the values and numbers are amazing. So I'm literally doing this in real time. So just so you guys can see that it's not bullshit. It's a part of the game. And yeah, more proof in the pudding right there for you. One of the best resources I can offer you outside of my free YouTube videos is my online community called Social Brands Club. You've been watching this video for an hour now, and you've been with me, so you clearly are finding value and learning and liking what I have to teach. So why not get some more additional hand-holding where I can personally help you pick a product, launch it, and scale it. I review all my students' products before they launch it and tell them exactly why they should or should not launch it. So Social Brands Club, it's in the community description right now. You can join in at $99. This is the cheapest it will be. And right now, I'm offering the first 50 members a free one-on-one call with me at their choice whenever they want to help them personally pick, launch, and scale a product. And we're over halfway there, guys. We have about 15 more people before I will remove this offer just because I physically cannot do that for moving forward. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime. If you want to join in and get expertise coaching without having to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for mentorship, I would definitely recommend joining in on now before this starts to fill up pretty quick here. The goal is to get you to 1K a day as quickly as possible, like one of my students here, Andy, and also Neo, who got to 1K a day pretty quickly as well with a sick conversion rate at almost 5% conversion rate. Absolutely amazing. So the first link in the description will be the link to join Social Brands Club. Once you join on in, send me a message and we can get to work as soon as possible. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys all in the next one. Take care.